Anyone shopping for a compact full-frame Sony camera right now is facing an unusually tricky timing question, because the current A7C II is a genuinely excellent camera, while the rumored A7C III sounds like a meaningful generational leap that isn't ready yet. That's a harder decision than it sounds. Normally, wait for the new model is easy advice when the new model is a few months out and the improvements are modest. Here, the improvements look substantial on paper, but the release window is genuinely uncertain. Anywhere from late 2026 to well into 2027, depending on how quickly Sony resolves a real engineering bottleneck. So this isn't really a which camera is better question. It's a how much is your time worth, and how badly do you need the specific things the new one fixes question. To answer that properly, it helps to go feature by feature, then zoom out to price, availability, and who each camera actually makes sense for. Laid side by side, the differences start at the sensor level. The A7C II uses a conventional, non-stacked, full-frame BSI sensor at 33 megapixels, a proven design that delivers excellent stills quality and has been well-reviewed since launch. The A7C III, by contrast, is rumored to introduce a stacked, or at least partially stacked, BSI sensor with onboard DRAM in a similar 33 to 36 megapixel range. That architectural change sounds like a small detail, but it isn't. It's the difference between good rolling shutter performance and dramatically reduced rolling shutter performance. And it's also what enables higher frame rate video without the heavy sensor crop the current model requires. Rolling shutter is the effect where fast-moving subjects, a car passing through frame, a fast whip pan, someone swinging a golf club, appear skewed or jello-like because the sensor reads out top to bottom rather than all at once. A stacked sensor design with dedicated memory reads the whole frame far faster, largely eliminating that distortion. For still shooters using the electronic shutter for silent operation, it also means far less risk of subject distortion during fast action. That crop is actually one of the clearest, most concrete differences between the two cameras. The kind of thing you don't need a spec sheet to explain because you feel it the moment you try to frame a shot. On the A7C II, shooting 4K at 60 frames per second forces a 1.5x APS-C crop, which changes your effective focal length and can ruin a wide shot you were counting on. Frame a room at 20 millimeters for an interior video, switch to 60 frames per second to capture some movement smoothly, and suddenly you're looking at something closer to 30 millimeters, tighter, more cramped, and no longer the composition you planned. The rumored A7C III fixes this directly, offering uncropped full-frame 4K 60, with 4K 120 available at only a minor crop for slow motion. If wide-angle video work is a regular part of your shooting, real estate, interiors, run-and-gun documentary style, vlogging in tight spaces, this single change might be the deciding factor in whether waiting makes sense for you. It's worth being honest about who this actually affects, though. Plenty of A7C II owners rarely shoot 60 frames per second at all, or shoot it in situations where a slightly narrower field of view doesn't matter. If that's you, this particular upgrade may be largely irrelevant to your workflow. Autofocus is another clear line between the two generations. The A7C II already uses Sony's first-generation AI-based subject recognition system, and is genuinely capable for the vast majority of shooting situations, occasionally stumbling only in cluttered or rapidly changing scenes, a subject partially obscured by foreground clutter, or multiple similar subjects overlapping in frame. The rumored A7C III steps this up with a dedicated AI processing chip and latency reportedly under 30 milliseconds, aiming for tracking performance closer to Sony's professional flagship bodies. In everyday use, that's the difference between a camera that's very good at tracking and one that essentially never lets a subject slip. For wildlife, sports, or event photographers who shoot in genuinely unpredictable conditions, that gap is meaningful. For portrait, travel, or general content creation shooters, the A7C II's current system is already more than capable, and the improvement may be difficult to notice in day-to-day use. Stabilization tells a similar story to the rest of this comparison. Every category sees improvement, but the size of that improvement matters more to some shooters than others. The A7C II offers around 5.5 stops of in-body stabilization, which is already strong for a camera this size, and lets most people handhold at shutter